Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching Alive with Amanda. Today's topic is going to be how to deal with clinicians when they don't quite get along when you have a group practice. I do see a lot of this in Facebook groups, and there's this idea that because we're therapists, that we're supposed to be really great communicators or really great at relationships or be able to apply all the tools that we teach our clients, and that's not always the case. It's really funny. Somebody just said to me, earlier today, actually, like, your husband is a psychologist and you're, a mental health counselor. You must have the best relationship ever. And while I think we have the best relationship, it doesn't mean just because we're therapists that everything is going to be perfect. And so when you have a group practice, there are going to be times when your clinicians might not get along. There might be personality clashes. There might be style differences, like in terms of how they do therapy. They might have had a couple of run-ins around maybe office space. That's like one of the most common one is like when somebody's in the office from 2 to 3 and then they're like running 5 minutes late and then that 3 o'clock person is there. I know the clinician that's waiting usually gets very angry. I've seen it time and time again. And I can understand that because they set the time for 3 to 4, and then it can create some tension. If that tension is not handled, then it can continue to go and continue to go. And so a couple of things that I think are really important, and I can share that, my group practice, since we just moved offices, I added new clinicians, we're a little scattered sometimes. And so when I realized that maybe there was some conflict going on at the office or that I just needed to cohese the group more, it had been impossible to really set a time for staff meetings. I also just read that people do online staff meetings. So if you're having a tough time doing staff meetings, doing them online, maybe at an off hour when people aren't seeing clients might be important. The other thing that we're doing is we're going to do a brunch on a Sunday morning. Nobody sees clients on Sundays. Everybody loves to do brunch in my office, apparently. And so we decided we're able to do a brunch because I think one of the ways to heat off some of this conflict is through cohesion. If the therapists know each other, if they trust each other, if they like each other, right? So if one of the clinicians here that maybe I've known for a long time, if she's in an office for an extra 5 minutes and I'm waiting, I'm going to be like, that's not a big deal. I know she's not doing it on purpose. I'm not going to sort of put that lens on that says she's doing this on purpose, right? But if it's a newer clinician that I don't really know, maybe my mind starts to do some of those things that, we teach our clients about, like not jumping to conclusions and to, be flexible in our thinking. I think that the more your clinicians sort of know each other, the easier that can be. We have a chat on WhatsApp that makes it easier for us to communicate with each other versus like a group chat outside where not everybody is able to communicate in the same way. And that has been really beneficial because it, again, leads to some cohesion. Now, if you have a really large group practice, you have like 20 or 30 people, that might look a little different. We've got about 12 people on that group chat. And that's probably as much as we want to be able to handle. But there are other ways. We have a Facebook group where we can communicate and post things. And so again, I think it's going to be really important to have communication. So I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, TherapyNotes, for sponsoring these Alive with Amanda. If you're looking for an electronic health record, I highly recommend that you look into TherapyNotes. It is an all-inclusive, perfect EHR for solo and group practices. You can send out text messages, you can do your notes, you can send reminders, you can do billing. So there's a lot of amazing things that you can do through TherapyNotes. And so I just wanted to kind of go back now and say the communication from the top down is going to be really important. So as the owner of the practice, I know that I need to check in, maybe have individual meetings and have group meetings. So then that way I'm ensuring that they're comfortable coming to me if there has been any conflict. And I'm also comfortable going to them and saying, hey, you were in the office for 10 minutes late. What was going on? And then reminding them you have the office booked from 2 to 3. The next person was rating, set alarms, maybe take a teaching moment. And so that's going to be really important so that way the owner is involved. Or if you're, an owner, but you're sort of maybe separated from the practice, you have a clinical director or an office manager, you just want to make sure that there is free-flowing communication within your practice so that you can heat off any of these issues that are going on. And being a group practice owner, just know you're not alone in these struggles that go on. Most people have these. And so I welcome any kind of questions that you all may have. Please reach out to me so I can answer your question.